Hey class, in today's lesson we're going to talk about transforming polynomial functions, which is found in section 5-9 of your book. So we're going to apply transformations to graphs of polynomials. Alright, so in example 1 it says, what is an equation of a cubic function under the following sequence of transformations? A vertical compression by the factor of 1/2, a reflection in the x-axis, a horizontal translation 5 units to the right, and a vertical translation 2 units up. Alright, so first of all, that cubic function that they're referring to is y equals x cubed. So we're going to start with y equals x cubed. Now, let's apply the first transformation, which is a vertical compression by a factor of 1/2. That would give us y equals 1/2 x cubed. Remember that compression or stretch goes in front of our factor. The next part says a reflection in the x-axis. Now remember, if something is reflected, that means that that stretch or compression is now negative. So that becomes y equals negative 1/2 x cubed. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's say it says a horizontal translation 5 units to the right. Okay, horizontal is opposite, right? And that means we need to see a set of parentheses. So what that would look like is y equals negative 1/2 in parentheses x minus 5 cubed. And then the last transformation is a vertical translation 2 units up. So what that final step will look like is y equals negative 1/2 in parentheses x minus 5 cubed plus 2. And we are done. Guys, this should be very familiar based on what we've done in quadratics, so I just want you to kind of refresh your memory. So let's look at try 1. Alright, so in try 1 it says, what's an equation of the graph of the cubic function under the following sequence of transformations? So again, that's y equals x cubed, so let's get started. A vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Okay, stretch, remember, goes in the front, so that'd be y equals 2x cubed. Then it says a horizontal translation 3 units to the left. All right, that's parentheses and it's opposite. Okay, so that'd be y equals 2 in parentheses x plus 3 cubed. And then the last one says, and a vertical translation 4 units down. So that goes at the very end, and so that's going to be y equals 2 in parentheses x plus 3 cubed minus 4, and we are done. Alright, in example 2 it says, what are all the real zeros of the function below? Alright, so to be able to figure out what the real zeros are here, all we're actually going to do is set this equation equal to 0 and solve for x. Okay, so instead of it being a y, we're going to say 0 equals 3 in parentheses x minus 1 cubed plus 6. Alright, so just solve for x. So we need to get x by itself by subtracting 6. We get negative 6 equals 3 in parentheses x minus 1 cubed. Divide by 3. That gives us negative 2 equal to x minus 1 cubed. Okay, the opposite of cubing is cubed root, which has a little 3 on the end. So that will look like the cubed root. Let's see, the cubed root of negative 2 equals x minus 1. And then finally, to get x by itself, we're going to add 1. And I'm going to put the cube in the back. So that'd be 1 plus the cube root of negative 2 is equal to x. And we are done. All right, let's try the next one. All right, so just remember again that we need to change the y to 0. And this time I'm going to switch it around because I prefer my 0 on the right hand side. So here we go. 1/2 parentheses x minus 2 cubed minus 3 equals 0. We're going to add 3. We get 1/2 parentheses x minus 2 cubed equal to 3. Okay, multiply both sides by 2. That's going to leave us with x minus 2 cubed equal to 6. Okay, take the cubed root of both sides. And so that's going to leave us with x minus 2 equal to the cubed root of 6. Lastly, we're going to add 2 to both sides. So our final answer is x equals 2 plus the cubed root of 6. And we are done. All right, in our last example, we're trying to construct a quartic function with two real zeros. So the deal is we have two real zeros. So as to not change the fact that we have real zeros, we need to, first of all, and don't forget, quartic means that there are going to be 4 zeros. 2 of them are real, so 2 of them are not real. Okay, and the other 2 that are not real that we're going to multiply by, instead of dealing with complex and conjugates and things of that nature, we're going to multiply by a very simple one. So the other 2 zeros that are not real would be x squared plus 1. And just to prove to you that they would not be real, x squared plus 1, if I set it equal to 0, would give me x squared equal to negative 1. Take the square root, that would give me plus or minus I. So again, there are 2 because it's plus or minus, and then the I we know is obviously not real. So, but x squared plus 1 is a very simple one to deal with. That way we don't have to deal with a lot. So, in constructing our function, we're going to say p of x equals, we need to make factors of those. So this would be x minus 5, and this would be x minus 9. And then we can't forget that we're going to multiply by x squared plus 1. So here we go. X minus 5, x minus 9, then x squared plus 1. Okay? So I'm going to start by multiplying the first 2. So I'm going to erase this part over here and do my box. So x and negative 5, x and negative 9, that gives me x squared minus 9x minus 5x plus 45. That would then give me x squared minus 14x plus 45, and that needs to be multiplied by x squared plus 1. So that means I need to put it into a bigger box. All right, so that's x squared, negative 14x, and 45, x squared, and 1. So this gives me x to the 4th, minus 14x cubed, 45x squared, x squared, negative 14x, and 45. So if I combine my like terms, p of x will equal x to the 4th, looks like there's one x cubed, so it's minus 14x cubed, plus 46x squared, minus 14x plus 45. And we are done. Okay, but again, it all started with trying to figure out if we had 2 real zeros, what were the other non-real zeros, and we'll just use the equation x squared plus 1 for all of our work. All right, so let's do this try 3 and we're done. All right, so x equals 0 as a 0. We can honestly just write x. You don't have to write x plus 0 if you don't want to. And then the other one would be x minus 6. And don't forget that the other non-real zeros that we're going to use are x squared plus 1. So here we go. P of x equals x times x minus 6 times x squared plus 1. This is pretty simple because we're going to multiply those 2 first, and we'll get x squared minus 6x, and then we want to multiply that by x squared plus 1. So we only have to use one box. I didn't have to put plus 1. All right, so here we go. X to the 4th, x squared, negative 6x cubed, and then negative 6x. So in total, if there are no like terms there, we're going to get x to the 4th minus 6x cubed plus x squared minus 6x. And we are done. All right, guys, we are done. If there are any questions, please come see me for tutoring.